Check game, everybody. We got Anthony Sanchez in the green room, man. Definitely, man. It's an honor and a privilege to have you, man.
Hey, most definitely. First and foremost, I want to thank you, Jay, for allowing me the opportunity to tell my story and just give your viewers a chance to know who I am, why I say check game, what Illuminating Solutions is. So I want to thank you. And come on, let's get the show started. Let's turn this bitch up.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We'll start with that first before we go back and do some digging in the story. But when you say check game, that's like your opening, like slogan almost, along with what a real gangster knows.
Yeah, most definitely. Like the term "what a real gangster knows" is, I want to revolutionize the term gangster. You got a lot of these fucking dope fiends out here that say they G'd up, but guess what? You lacing the youth up wrong. How the fuck you supposed to be an OG, but you teaching our youth to rob, steal, kill, and destroy? You supposed to stand on business, and there's levels to this shit. You're supposed to elevate the youth, teach them LLCs, DBAs, EINs. So the word gangster is a powerful term, so I'm trying to use it to revolutionize the term. The reason I say check game, because I'm putting you on game, but most importantly, Malcolm X said it best. When you see somebody with something you don't got, that means they're doing something you're not. So what are these major corporations doing that we're not doing in the hood? McDonald's says, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. Nike says, just do it. Like the Nike sign, just do it. So guess what? I say check game, because to be great, you have to imitate great men. But me, I consider myself a corporation, Illuminating Solutions.
Absolutely. That's awesome. I want to talk about that name, Illuminating Solutions. Exactly what do you feel like it is that you want to project at what you do, and why the name Illuminating Solutions?
So the reason why I say Illuminating Solutions, because I'm part of the Illuminati. No, I'm just playing with y'all. So look, the term Illuminating Solutions is because I'm here to shed light on darkness. We all stand in darkness before we could see the light. I'm here to be a beacon of light, a beacon of hope for the individuals without a voice, the individuals that's prayers that they feel that's not answered. I'm here to guide the youth, men and women, to the light. I am the messenger from the east. Someone that's going to uplift somebody and give them a way out, a solution to their day-to-day life through their problems, their adversities, or resources. I work with multiple individuals all over Houston, colleges, car dealerships, attorneys, where I'm providing resources that will benefit them or their families. Because the biggest thing that I know, being from the hood, is we're not dumb. We're just ignorant to the tools within the system, and we don't know how to utilize them. So I use my platform to offer resources and opportunity for the underserved community.
That's real. That's real. When I look at you online, a lot of what I see, I kind of look at it like marketing, like bridging the gap between different like communities.
Yes.
And a lot of community activism. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah, most definitely. I consider myself an activist, a revolutionist, a street philosopher. I consider myself trying to bridge the gap between the hood and the corporate world. And I'm here to break the mold that we're stuck in because of political correctness. In society, they tell you you have to dress, talk, and look a certain way to be successful. And I'm a living testimony. It doesn't matter about your past, because your past don't define you, but your actions in the moments of adversity and controversy defines who you are. You could still have tattoos on you, grills in your mouth, and still be successful and work in a corporate field. At the end of the day, I'm a corporate individual. I work around multiple corporate individuals. I work with politicians, lawyers, directors from colleges, and I got gang tattoos on me. I got diamonds in my mouth, but it don't hold me back. Where other people will tell you no, and people are scared when they're reintegrating back into society from prison because, oh, I got tattoos. They disable themselves and put themselves on a crutch. It's like when I was a child. I used to say, my mama died. This is why I'm smoking weed. I don't got a dad. This is why I'm popping Xanax. I don't got this. I don't got that. My 7th grade teacher told me, those are excuses. Excuses are for incompetent people that are weak. Are you weak? It's time to change the way we look, the way we dress, the way we talk, but still be authentic to the things that we like. At the end of the day, people are going to either accept us or not. And if you don't accept me, I don't need you in my life. You could keep moving, because at the end of the day, energy feeds off energy. A real individual is going to see your mind and your heart, and he's going to judge that, and they're going to work with you because they see that you're trying to do good. But someone that's just in it for the money, I don't want to fuck with you. I got money. Well, what could you give me that I don't already have?
Anybody could get money.
Anybody could get money. And that's the thing with a lot of corporations that I see right now in today's society. They think that loyalty, love, and respect can be bought. The truth is, that's just a transaction. It might keep a mouth closed, but it cannot stop awaken consciousness. Because when the people rise and the people awaken, at the end of the day, you ain't gonna be able to shut them up. There's only one way to shut them up, and that's death. But every revolutionary knows that this promise. Look at Malcolm. Look at Che. Look at these revolutionaries. Look at Huey P. Newton. They knew they were gonna die, but to live and die for a belief greater than ourselves, and it's to live and die for the people.
Yes.
And that's my mission.
Yeah, that impact will always live on. You know what I'm saying? Especially for those who died in that mission and with that purpose.
Most definitely.
How long would you say you've been anchored in this mindset?
Honestly, it took a lot of growth and development. It took a lot of adversity, and it took me to awaken and go to prison in a concrete tomb of my own demise and educate myself. It was built off of hate, built off of pain. And what really drove me was when I was sentenced to 16 years in TDCJ, when Mark Ken Ellis in 351 court told me I was unfit for society, unfit for the world. I told myself in that moment I was going to educate myself, and I was going to show him and anybody that I am fit for the world. And y'all created me. I educated myself. So it took me to go to prison to educate myself on great men such as Malcolm X. That's one of my role models right there. Different revolutionaries, different conquerors like Julius Caesar, and study their autobiographies or biographies on how they became successful, to understand like who am I, and then studying history about my Latino roots, about me being Mexican, about me being Hispanic, because the Mexican people suffer from identity crisis. The truth is, especially you see a lot of Latinos in Houston, they don't know who they are. Let's just be real. They don't know who they are. They go around and they're lost, they're confused. You tell them like, where are you from? They're gonna be like, I'm from Texas. No, we're from Mexico. Texas used to be Mexico. Our people didn't cross no borders. The borders crossed us. And the thing is, in Houston, we're very diverse, but we have a strong culture in the music. And the music binds the culture together. That's why when you see these other states like California looking from the outside in, they see blacks and Hispanics a lot united.
In Texas.
In Texas.
Yeah.
And especially in Houston. But it's because the Houston culture, this music, the sauce, the drip, everything that we do, that's why we rock grills. But as a people, the Latinos are ignorant to who they are. And that's why our voices don't matter. And it's in today's society that you see them growing right now and making their own wave in the music industry. Because you have amazing artists. Like right now, you got D-Baby on tour with the biggest artist in the United States, NBA Youngboy. And the Latinos haven't had a leader in a long time. The Mexican people haven't. The last leader they had was SPM. And nobody's rocking with him. I'm not rocking with him. And I'm just going to be honest. Like, I love his music. Don't get me wrong. I think he was a lyrical genius. But I cannot respect the cases he caught.
He has that jacket on him.
He got that jacket on him, and I don't respect it. I don't respect it. Other people might rock with it and go into conspiracies. At the end of the day, I wasn't there. I just know that he was found guilty. And the truth is, bro, like, I'm not rocking with it. And right now, all I can say is that the Mexicans and Hispanics in Houston, they're having their own wave. And it's a new trend. It's a new era. And They're paving the way for the younger generation right now, and they're awakening. And I think that we need more influential people to step up, stand up, and just start speaking their mind and getting in the industry. Be actors, be musicians, be influencers. Because I did 10.5 years in prison. I came home and I was like, I seen thousands of little Edgars everywhere. Like for real, that's all I seen. I was like, man, what happened? But they're starting to wake up. If you study statistics, the Latino people are the majority in Texas.
They do a lot for like almost every business though out here.
Yes, but guess what? Their voices are not heard in politics. The media portrays us as criminals, savages, rapists, drug lords that are moving keys across the borders when that's all propaganda. That's lies. Y'all want to paint us as a foreigner because of our Spanish speaking descent. But our people been here. Our people been here. We were the natives on this land. And it's just trying to use my platform to show that, man, we're here to stay, and I'm gonna preach. I'm gonna preach my message and what I seen and what I experienced, because it took me to go to prison and do some soul searching to understand my identity and understand who I am as a man. And now I'm preaching for the greater justice so my kids won't ever go through the adversities that I faced.
Real shit. When you said earlier that a lot of Latinos and Hispanic people in Texas and other places are a little bit ignorant to what their true identity is, can you elaborate on that a little bit?
When I say that they're ignorant, they don't know their history. You tell them who Emiliano Zapata is. They don't know because the education system failed us. They don't know who Pancho Villa is. They probably heard stories from their grandma or something. You ask them, who's Rodolfo Corky Gonzalez? They don't know. The only Mexican that you hear about in the history books is Cesar Chavez.
Okay.
But you don't hear about everybody else. Why is that? Because they strip us from our identity. So they're a man without identity. They don't know who they are. They don't know where they're going. Malcolm X said it best. Before you know where you're going, you got to know where you come from. And the Egyptians, when they were initiated in the temple, they said, knowledge yourself, know thyself. Who are you? What are you? Where do you come from? And I think that we need to know as a people, and it's not only Latinos, it's African Americans as well. We need to know where we come from, who we are, to know where we're going, because our voices do matter. Our voices do have an impact on our community.
Absolutely. The wave of like Hispanic rappers that are kind of blooming right now, especially in Texas and around America, do you think that transition is good for the Hispanic communities as a whole?
I think it's probably the biggest win that we ever seen. It's the only win that we had in a long time. Like I said, it's the only win, because you don't see us winning right now. You don't right now with ICE attacking us, running in schools, running in apartments, deporting our families. They're basically kidnapping people and sending them back, putting them in detention centers, treating them like animals. So I think right now this is a win, but it'll be more impactful if they start using their platforms to speak against the social injustices.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you spoke on ICE, that's been a big thing, especially in 2025, throughout the whole entire year. And it's gets worse and worse. When you see those type of things, do you think it'll stop anytime soon? And what do you think is something that could be done to counteract that?
Honestly, I don't think it's gonna stop anytime soon. I, this is my opinion. I think the media is trying to portray Trump as a racist. If you study statistics, the previous administrations deported more Mexicans and Latinos than anybody else. Obama deported more Hispanics than anybody else. But the media wants to portray Trump as the bad guy. The truth is, if you study the system and the statistics behind it, we've been getting deported.
Right, right.
And I think with Trump in office, it's probably the best thing that could happen, because Now it's awakening the people. The only way we can awaken is just like the saying, pressure busts pipes or makes a diamond. I think that it's going to create a diamond because we're a sleeping giant that needs to be woke. And the only way they're going to wake up is, come on, keep applying pressure, keep putting it in the media, because eventually people are going to get sick and tired. Look at the African American community. They got tired, and y'all woke up. Y'all started protesting. Y'all started resisting until y'all made a way. In today's society in America, the God honest truth, all you have is white and African Americans, white and black in media culture and everything. There's no gray room for Hispanics.
I gotcha. Yeah. Do you think Black Americans have or should have a responsibility to aid in that struggle for Hispanics and vice versa with Hispanics with Black?
Honestly, it's not the African Americans' fight. Y'all fought and y'all made y'all way. Y'all could show assistance. Y'all can to unite the minorities, but then it'll show more division in our community. It'll show more division and more racism towards white people. And that's what it's not about. It's not about us hating one another as human beings. It's about human rights. That we're all human beings and we can't keep everybody separated. I think the Latinos need to make their way in the industry where they're respected as a human being instead of as, oh, he's a wetback. He needs to get deported. He don't belong here, where it's in a more respectable place in society. Because if you look at, let's say you watch commercials on TV, what are you going to see? You're going to see whites and blacks. You're not going to see Hispanics unless it's Telemundo.
Right.
But the African Americans, y'all earned that. Y'all earned that. Y'all fought for that. Y'all died for that. There's a lot of amazing activists that died for that. And y'all earned that. Y'all deserve that because y'all resisted. The Mexican people, they're just staying quiet, but they're waking up, and I think that there should be unity, but I don't see that there should be support on both ends right now because it'll cause more of a civil war. It'll cause more casualties that we don't need, not in today's society, because there are good white people out there. There are good white people out there. There's bad white people out there. There's bad Hispanics out here. There's good Hispanics. There's bad blacks. But there's good blacks. I think that people need to start judging people by their heart, their actions, because there are good people, and I think the wrong people are in power that abuse that power. So I think it's the individuals, but I think that we need a better educational system to better give people more of an identity of who they are. I don't want to go too much in depth because I don't want to say, oh, we need to be equal and this and that, because I don't believe in communism. I love the American system. I love capitalism. And I love that we are in the land of the free, but I think that everybody needs to be educated more. I think that we need to study LLCs, DBAs, EINs, learn about credit in the school system. On top of that, learn about our histories so a child can have a positive role model. For the simple fact, you grow up in the hood, like I said earlier about the term gangster, their role models, especially in the hood, is this fucking dope fiend on the block that's selling crack and shit or pimping hoes or robbing and stealing. And that's our role models in the hood. We need role models through books because, like I said, books saved my life. People would say you only live one time. I'll tell you, I lived 1,000 lives through the books that I read. I lived 1,000 lives. I have years of wisdom because I experienced their lives through the pages I read.
The experiences.
Yes.
Yeah, understanding. It allows you a wider perspective on life. Let's go back to when you said you got sentenced by Kent Ellis, sentenced to 16 years. Can you say what your charge was?
I had 2 aggravated robberies with a deadly weapon and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Okay. How old were you at the
I
time?
was 17 years old. My first offer was 66 years.
It's crazy.
It was 66 years. I beat 2 aggravated robberies in jury trial.
Mm.
At the end, I signed a PSI, a pre-screen investigation. I didn't have no codependents on my case. I went up to the judge. I said, I did these cases, and man, give me something I can do. And I'm not signing nothing older than me because their last offer was 30 years. I'm not signing that. I'm only 17 years old. And he gave me 16, a year under me.
For sure.
And believe it or not, that's the same judge that sentenced SPM.
It is, actually, yeah.
It is Mark Ken Ellis.
Yeah, that's the same judge that sentenced me before, too. So when you said that, I was like, damn, that's what's up. Well, it's not what's up, but, you know, it's your life. So by the time you made it to prison, you was 18?
Yes.
Okay. What was it like going through your mind, knowing that you was going to have to embark on this journey?
So look, honestly, like going in the prison system, I didn't know what the fuck to expect. I'm not gonna sit here and cap with you and be like, oh, I was super stomped down. Man, when I first went into prison, I didn't know nothing. Nobody laced me up about this all the time we could get. When they sentenced me, I cried behind that shit. That shit hurt. Going into prison, I had a lot of anger in me. I didn't know what to expect. But I had a couple people try to lace me up, give me free game on what to expect. And it's just like, what helped me in the prison system, I could say, was the streets. I ain't never just been no dumb cat. I already knew the streets, and truth is, I'm a man before anything. I was a man before anything. I'm not going to listen to nobody. What caught me off guard was the prison politics going in.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. What was going on in your life leading up to that to put you in that position to where you got sentenced?
So, when I was 7 years old, I seen my mom overdose on cocaine in front of me.
Yeah.
I didn't have a father figure in my life. My dad was a crackhead on the streets. I was raised by my grandma and my uncle. Growing up in the southeast side of Houston, we become a product of our environment. We grow up in broken homes, and they want to label us criminals. Truth is, we never committed a crime we didn't have to do. We're victims of circumstance. And just being in the environment, it's like the old saying, monkey see, monkey do. You're just imitating and reflecting everything that's around you. So we think, man, this is okay to make money. This is how you do things. And I'm not going to sit here and cap. I might have been a follower because this is what the game that was told to me. And you could say that, like, my family wasn't wealthy. We didn't have money. They're Mexican. They work. My uncle tried to provide for me and my brothers. And I was in the streets. I was trying to make a bag. I wanted them nice Jordans. I wanted a slab. I wanted all the fancy things that I seen in the hood, everybody else doing. How y'all doing it, man? Shit. We selling drugs, we robbing, we kicking doors, we pimping hoes. And I'm like, shit, I want that too. How can I do it? And I think that was my downfall. So there was nothing just leading up to it. I always been a go-getter. I always been a hustler. I made sure I had money. I made sure I had food at a young age. I think it was just, and it was time. God had a calling like, hey, we need to sit you down before you die, because people don't know you either have 2 options in the hood. You either die or go to prison. And I'm one of the few that was saved. I was saved by the system. I could say that me going to prison was my biggest blessing.
I hear a lot of people say that. If you take it as that, it can be that.
Yeah, you have to turn negative to a positive. Most people always dwell on the negative, and that's why I said about excuses. They use it as a crutch. People always want to look at the negative perspective of life and cry and bicker on why they don't got this, why they don't got that. They want to look at the bad, but man, look at the good that came out of it. Look at the good. And it's all the way you see things. Some people only see a square in life. You got to see geometrically. You have to see the cube.
Nah, real. Of all those things that you experienced coming up before going to prison, do you ever feel like even now to this day you carry trauma from those days?
I don't carry trauma.
You feel like you healed from that?
It was never trauma. It was just excuses. It was a way of thinking. I don't carry trauma from none of my past. I accept it. I embrace it. It's my story. I love it. I love it. I think it makes me stronger because where you have other individuals that were privileged, I could say I know struggle. They might have been born with money. Take everything away from them and watch them fail. And guess what? Take everything away from me right now and watch me come up. I already been at the bottom.
Yeah, for
I
real.
had to live off soups, 25-cent soups. I had to sleep in abandoned houses. I understand struggle, so I embrace it. I love it. And it's my testimony. I'm not going to be ashamed of it. I'm not going to be like, oh, I didn't have my mom. No, everything happened in God's timing because He wanted me to experience that to be stronger for the battles that I have to face. If they put Moses in jail, they crucified Christ, and they went through all this adversity. Why am I going to cry and bicker? If they went through it, of course I'm going to do it. And I believe that I'm blessed by God and I'm walking His path, and everything I do is for His purpose. Even when I don't realize it, it's always for His purpose. Even me being on this podcast, because maybe my voice and my message maybe could impact one life. And if it impacts that one life and it changes that young man's life or young woman's life, I did my due diligence for God.
Real shit. Definitely. So when you got to prison, would you say the first few years was the hardest?
No, it really wasn't hard, bro. Believe it or not, it's actually common sense. It's common sense. It was like you just getting a mentality, right? One thing I can say is my hardest time was in G5. My hardest time was in G5, and that's going like,
What's a unit?
no, it's G5. You have different levels. You have G2, G4, G5. G4 is 20-hour lockdown, and you're only allowed 4 hours out a day. G2 is general population. G5 is 23-hour lockdown, 1 hour out a day.
Yeah.
So I think that G5 was my hardest trials and tribulations because it taught me that a man's worst enemy is his conscience. Most individuals either kill themselves or they go crazy in there because of the things that you see, the things that you hear, and being trapped in confinement. Your mind plays tricks on you. Everything that you did bad, if you're a human, you're going to have a conscience and it's going to eat at you. It's going to tear at your soul. If you committed a crime, you did something bad, you knew it was wrong. You get lost in the sauce and think everything's good, but it eats at you. And you have to have a real strong mind, a real strong mind. Because I done seen people never make it out. I done seen so many people hang themselves. I seen people start eating their shit, going crazy. And I thought about suicide all the time in there. I thought about it all the time, and it was just this that kept getting me. Just hearing that fucking knocking, because they be making holes through the wall. And it was that fucking noise. It was that noise that was driving me crazy. It would drive me crazy, and I thought about suicide, and I could say that I overcame my past. I overcame who I was and became something new in that time. It's like Jesus when he went in the tomb and he came out resurrected. It took me to go and fight my own demons to overcome and become who I was and who I am today.
That's real, man. How long were you in G5?
I was in there for 1 year and 6 months.
It's crazy. 23 hours lockdown alone.
I did a lot of my time in G4 too, but I was fucking up my first couple years. But it was really G5 that ate at me the most. That was the hardest time I did. And I think it was hard because it was just a psychological effect on it.
Yeah. Was there something that you did to be placed in G5?
I got organized crime participating as a member of Tango Blast. So we basically thought we killed someone and we threw him in the corner and everybody's chilling. The motherfucker lived. He lived and he said, Tango Blast did it. The blast did this to me. And when you're confirmed, they're gonna come get everybody that's confirmed. They came, got me first. Speaker, come here. And they locked me up. And it's crazy. You get locked up while you're locked up. And
Hell yeah, man.
it's crazy. And I actually got my rights read behind that because it's a free roll case.
Damn.
And it was an experience. That's why I got G5'd.
Absolutely. Tango Blast is like a well-known, I don't want to say street gang, I would just say gang organization in Texas, period.
It's not in the free world.
Right, exactly.
People get the misconception and think we're orchestrating the world. The truth is, we're not even a gang. We're just homeboys. It's like me and you right now. We're from H-Town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say we're Hispanic. We're against negative gangs. Tango Blast means together against negative gang organizations. Be loyal and stay true. Tango, it means what city you're from. Like, where you from? Like, I'm from Houston, Houston. I'm from Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin. Tango Blast is 4 cities, 1 mission. Houston, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth. We're not a gang. We're a prison revolution that overcame our oppressors. We overcame the negative shit that the gangs were doing. We don't have a rank of command like other gangs where they have foot soldiers, generals, sergeants, lieutenants, all that. Can't nobody put a knife in my hand and say, go stab them. If someone tried to do that, I tell them, go suck my dick. You go do that. Because we're a democracy. Everything you do out your heart if you want to do it. Yeah. But you have to understand it's not a free ride though in there either. Like sometimes work got to get put in and hey man, you gotta volunteer. You're riding for a cause. It's a revolution. Yeah. So when people say a gang or organization, we're not. We're just homeboys. When you're back in the world, you are a civilian. We have no ties. Like you'll have some Hispanics that were Bloods or Crips in the pen, they're Tango Blast. When they're out, they're Bloods or Crips. That's on them. Prison, it's a different politics. It's a lot of segregation in there. So it's the culture. But one thing I can say is like, we're not a gang. We're not in the streets. If you have somebody saying that they started Tango Blast, motherfucker suck my dick. We don't have 1 person or 2 persons that started it. Man, this shit been around before the 80s type shit.
For real?
Yeah.
Only in prisons though.
Only in prison. If somebody's out here banging that shit, nigga's a duck. He probably never been to a real unit. You gotta go to a real ID unit and get laced up. Yeah. You gotta pay the check. And some people been to certain units and they think, oh, this is how it is, but they never been to a red brick unit. They never been to, man, a real unit where the homeboys really stand on business and this is how it is. They probably been somewhere, I don't fucking know, CCA or something, and thought that shit was stomped down, or they went to the county, or they went to state jail, and they thought, oh, we're Super Tango Blast. Nah, it don't work that way. It don't work that way.
Yeah, for real, okay. Yeah, I've heard so much about Tango Blast, and it has kind of a like enigma to it, because it's like, it's well known, but then, you know, people don't really know all the things that go along with it.
A lot of people get the misconception because the truth is you got these old ass dope fiends, people that called out or people that slid back come out here and they want to guide the youth wrong. They want to get fame and publicity off that shit. They want to be like, oh, I started Tango Blast, I did this and that. Or they want the fame, they want the credibility to be able to say, oh, I was a part of that. And they're lying to people and they're making it worse for people like me that was a part of Tango Blast in prison, coming home, doing good, to have a label on me out here. Because you have old ass dope fiends, people that want to fucking come out here and do duck shit. When I'm a civilian, bro, I don't gang bang. I'm not a part of no gang. I'm out here, I work like everybody else. But I'm always going to have a label because the story never been told. And people that are doing good, they're trying to leave that life behind them. They don't want to speak up about things that happened in prison or the past. They don't want to. They don't want nothing to do with that life. But me, on the other hand, I have a platform, and sometimes, like I said, you have to be the light in the darkness, and sometimes you have to kick doors down. And man, the truth's always going to prevail. Light cannot be chained, and I'm doing this and everything I'm saying because I want my homeboys, people that come home from prison that are civilians, not to be labeled, not to be discriminated against, not to be randomly locked up and then chained like animals because people spun a false narrative on us.
Yeah, that's real though. You know, I don't really hear like too many people speaking on Tango Blast like that and really giving understanding and definition.
Yeah. And you'll have some people do it, but some of that should be capped. It should be capped. They ain't never been nowhere. That, like I said, they're smash outs or they slip back.
I feel you. So when you were younger and you were thinking about becoming a part of the blast, what was it that drew you to it?
Honestly, at first I wasn't gonna get down. I didn't gangbang in the world. I wasn't a part of nothing. What made me join Tango Blast was the cause, the principle, the belief system. I love that it was a democracy. Everybody had a voice. There wasn't a chain of command. I love that we looked out for our people. You could have a little Mexican come in and he's Solano. He's solo. He's not riding with no one, but he's from Houston. We're not gonna let nobody fuck with him if he's gonna fight for himself. We're not gonna let the black gangs, we're not gonna let the other Mexican families extort him. Nobody's gonna fuck with him. If this young kid's just here to do his time, he's gonna do his time in peace. If somebody runs in his cell and he's fighting for himself, we're gonna kill behind that motherfucker. Because guess what? He's our people. He's from our city. And that's what I loved about it because it looked out for the little man. It looked out for the person that's just trying to go home. He probably got 5 years, 4 years. He hit a real unit. He's over here or he's going to school trying to better himself while he's in there. And then you got motherfuckers trying to fuck with him. But he's a man. He's going to fight. Guess what? We got numbers. We're the biggest Texas penitentiary gang. That's where you get the saying, if you ain't blasting, you ain't lasting. And that's the God honest truth. And most people won't accept it. But like if you go to Texas Penitentiary, I'm gonna show you this. You'll have the Bloods and Crips. They'll go at war with each other. Or even their own sets will go at war with each other first before they go at war with the blast. And the reason is because if it comes down to it, we'll lose our parole, we'll get more time, and we'll kill y'all behind it. And we don't give a fuck because we're for a principle, we're for a cause. We try to communicate and we expect that the other organizations handle their people. If your homeboy stole something, discipline them. Y'all got 48 hours to discipline your people. Really, you only got 24. We're just telling you 48. We're going to stab them in 24 and set that bitch off. 9 times out of 10, they discipline them ASAP. We really don't have like problems with the black gangs because our reputation does precede us. It does, and every now and then shit happens and it bucks. And truth is, somebody dies. Somebody dies, and everybody's gonna tell you the Mexicans gonna play with them knives. They're gonna play with them knives. Like, well, we're not gonna fight. We're gonna go stab everybody.
Yeah, that's what they say though, for real. Do you have to be Hispanic to be in Tango Blast?
We accept everybody. The majority, it is a Mexican gang, but I done had white people blast. I done had people that were black and Mexican blast. And we accept him. He's gonna have to fade a mean ass chick. But guess what? If that's what he wants, we're gonna accept him. I don't have white boys blast. That's what he wanted.
Do their groups look at them bad when they blast or confused?
Nah.
Okay.
The truth is, white boys don't got no say in Texas prison. If people tell you that, they got cap and they rap. The units I've been at, they didn't have no benches or no tables. There's only blacks and Hispanics. We run it. We're the majority. You rarely have a lot of white boys.
Yeah.
And a white boy won the blast, like, he gotta be a stiff ass white boy. Because the white boys that I seen, they're getting extorted, they're getting raped, and it's fucked up, but that's what's happening in there.
It's crazy.
And if you have somebody that's like a mixed breed, he has to have some type of Latino in him, right? He has to like be like Colombian and black or something like that. And we'll accept them, but nobody's gonna tell him nothing. It's just like when you have a Mexican that says he's a Crip. Well, we're not gonna tell him nothing, but if we set off a riot, he's gonna be the first one we stab.
It's crazy. Yeah, another thing I also noticed too with Tango Blast is a lot of the tattoo work. It's like, I think, common. Would you say so?
To a certain degree, we use stars.
For sure.
Astro Star, the famous symbol, the Dallas Star, and you got the ATX Star or the Capital.
What is like the representation of the star mean?
Was representation. It's like what city? Like
Okay.
our stars represent our cities.
Okay.
So it's like in Houston, you know, the Astro Star. And guess what? Like, we're blasting. They don't know what that star about. We're in Texas.
Yeah.
They call us the Lone Star State. In prison, we're the 4-star state.
Mm. I'm kind of surprised that San Antonio wasn't included in that list of 4 cities. Is there a reason why?
San Antonio it's a tango. People get the misconception that they think that, all Mexicans run together. No, everybody got their own tango. You got tango Orojon. You have tango Bayuco, tango Mexicle, tango Chuco, tango Hueso. Some units, Hueso Blast, they're the 5th horseman. That's on some unit. Some units, the Bayucos and the Blast, we got a bicep. It's called a treaty. San Antonio is its own entity. The way the blast started, we were the originators of everything. When people try to be like, no, that's why we're blasting, and they're not. The truth is, like, we overthrew everybody. And we made way for everybody to be a tango. When people be like, oh, no, guess what? We made the way for all the Mexican people. And then everybody said, oh, I want to be tango. San Antonio, they were under Mexican mafia. That's why they're called Orojon. They're not called Tango Sananto. They're called Tango Orojon. They still got the name that the Mexican mafias gave them.
Okay.
We got cities.
For sure.
Because guess what? We're just homeboys. We're never a gang. That's why we're Tango Blast. We're 4 cities, 1 mission.
But them keeping the Mexican mafia still attached to them, does that ever create friction with Tango?
No, they started with Mexican mafia, but they separated. They got their own thing, and that's their beef.
With that, okay, I got
with
you.
that, our beef was with Texas Syndicate.
Explain that.
So, the history behind it, people are gonna lie and be like, "Oh, they were extorting y'all," or no, fuck no, that they got cap in their rap. The history, the real history behind it was that you have people from Houston, Dallas, Austin, Fort Worth, their solos, trying to do their time. And then you had these motherfuckers try to exploit a solo. But guess what? We got more numbers than you. It's like you my homeboy, you feel me? You got this motherfucker trying to take it. Nah, you my homeboy, nah, fuck that. We're gonna keep fighting. We're gonna keep fighting. We were never chavals. Nobody got extorted. The people that got extorted were just hoes. They weren't blasting. We just grew in numbers, and guess what? Shit, we're tango. What tango you from? Houston. They know not to fuck with the Houstons. And guess what? Nah, y'all not gonna keep fucking with our people. Eventually, 4 cities got together. Texas Syndicate ruled Texas prison. 4 cities got together. Houston, Dallas, Austin, Fort Worth, and overthrew the biggest gang at the time. That's why you say, if you ain't blasting, you ain't lasting. That's a real life saying, because they didn't last. They don't walk no unit. Eventually, all them other famas, they don't walk no units. Pistoleros, RUs, Aztecas, we done smashed them all out.
That's crazy.
Other tangos fell in line of our wave because they seen us going against them. Guess what? San Antonio said, "Oh, we're gonna go against Mexican Mafia. We're gonna go against the PRMs. We're gonna go against this person to make their own way for their people." Because you had these families that were extorting them and then trying to extort their families out in the world.
It's crazy.
And that's what we're against.
Absolutely. I can respect that. When you say took over, it's basically by way of riot.
When I say took over, is like we smashed everybody off and killed who we had to kill. You had homeboys, some of my homeboys die, you had some of their homeboys die behind it.
Yeah.
We actually went to war and we came out on top. We had more numbers than anybody, and we created a democracy where people could come and do their time in peace, and they don't have to worry about people fucking with them. And we are the leaders in there for the Mexican people. Even for the other tangos, we are the leaders. Because let's say one of these smaller tangos get into it. You think that we're gonna let's say, Mexican Mafia smash all of San Antonio out? No, we're not. We're gonna stand behind them. We're not gonna let the Bloods or Crips smash out all the Bayucos. No, we're gonna stand behind them because we're the leaders. And every time we get involved, guess what? That's when there's talks and the beef dies before there's a big riot. Because they know now it's something more. Because it's easy to take off one of these smaller tangos. They're just one city. We're 4 cities strong.
Yeah.
And I know you hear a lot of speculations. Oh, the truth is the blast runs it. And if anybody says otherwise, they got capped in their rap.
That's what's up.
They probably were on a transfer unit. Because some transfer units, they got numbers, right?
Right, I heard so. So it's fair to say, throughout all your time in prison, death is probably the wildest thing that you witnessed with your own eyes.
What was the wildest thing?
Yeah.
People getting raped.
For real?
People getting raped. I think that was the wildest things, was people getting raped. Just weird shit happening.
That happened a lot. You seen that happen a lot?
Like, you hear it, but I done actually walked in on it when I was on Ferguson unit. I seen like 6 Crips raping a white boy.
That's crazy. And most of those gangs like Crips and Bloods, supposedly that's supposed to be forbidden.
Honestly, like, I'm gonna tell you this. Like, there's different structures. Like with the Mexican gangs, we check paperwork. So we don't allow sex offenders to walk. People say, oh, the blast extorts people. We don't extort people. We extort sex offenders.
Okay.
At the end of the day, like, we don't accept that. But like with the Bloods and Crips, when their homies might come in, they got a fucked up case, they're gonna accept them. Because they're gonna ride with their homie, right or wrong. They don't care that he was a serial rapist. He was fucking kids. They accept that. They'll let sex offenders walk in their circle. We don't. And that's the difference. And it just matters what unit that you're on. Like, if you're on like a real old unit where people ain't never going home, the Bloods, Crips, and them organizations, they got their own rules, or just like, that's them. Like, I really can't speak up on if they're not supposed to or not. But from what I seen them fucking boys.
It's crazy.
I seen them fucking boys. And when I was on Ferguson unit, they had a fucking gang called GBNs, Get Booty Niggas. Like, and this was normal to them, like, just taking down motherfuckers, right?
It's crazy.
And it's the mentality. You got people ain't never going home. You got some people walking around with their girlfriends in there. It's a whole boy, but they don't care.
That's wild. And Ferguson would probably be the unit you see that was most common?
Ferguson and Gib Lewis. The reason why Gib Lewis, you'll have transvestites walking around. You have transvestites. You'll have motherfuckers with tits and ass walking around.
It's crazy.
So I could say that. I think Ferguson, you'll see more raping. Gib Lewis, it wasn't raping. They're giving it willingly.
Crazy. Have you ever witnessed a homeboy participate in any of that type of activity?
No,
Never.
not at all. No homeboys participated in it. I didn't seen the Paisas do it. The blast ends up having to tell them, hey, y'all gotta smash our homeboy, or we're gonna smash all of y'all off the unit. Cause we go at it with the other tangos sometimes, and it's because they need to keep their people in check. If you're gonna claim that you're a tango, we're Tango Blast, we're the originators. But you're gonna say that you're a tango, but you got your homeboy fucking boys. Nah, we're gonna smash all out, smash them out. So that's one thing I can say. But for the most part, the blast, like we're not gonna accept that. We're not gonna accept that.
That's real. That's real. Throughout all your years in prison, at what point do you feel like you made that transition into the mind state that you preach today? Because I know it didn't happen when you first got there. At what point did you say, like, damn, this is how I want to be when I get out?
Like I said, it was in G5.
G5?
It was in G5. What saved me was books in there. Educating myself and rediscovering myself and understanding like who am I? What am I gonna be? And just thinking like reinventing myself. The way I walk, the way I talk, everything. And it was visualizing and manifesting who I am gonna become when I come home.
Okay. Were you, how many years in were you when you got to G5?
How many years? It was I was around 7 years in.
Okay, so almost towards the 10th year when you got out.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Gosh, good timing.
7.
Good timing, man. So those
Number of completion.
Nah, absolutely. So towards them last 3 years is kind of when you were on that mental journey to get out and be a prosperous individual, part of society. Absolutely. How did that feel when you first became illuminated?
How did it feel? Like I wasn't fully awakened yet. I wasn't fully awakened. I I still search for truth. I'm still searching for truth. I'm still walking the path and trying to find truth. And it took me to go through a lot of studies. A lot of studies. And I think my biggest awakening was studying anatomy and physiology of the human body and the inner workings. And understanding that we're a baby reflection of the universal design, that everything the human body consists of, the universe outside consists of, and that we're connected by invisible strings, that we're all one with the graphic design and the grand architect of the universe. I think that was my greatest awakening. And I was already out of G5. I think that was the life-changing moment when I realized that I'm one with God. I understood the biblical text when Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man come to the Father except by me. Now that you have known me, you shall know my Father also. From now on, you know him and you have seen him. Whoever has seen me has seen the Father. Why then do you say, show us the Father? Do you not believe that I am in the Father? Just like I am in you? And I really understood it, that we are connected. Any harm that I do to somebody else, I'm inflicting to myself. Any bad word I say to someone, I'm inflicting to myself because we are connected. We're energy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Did you have any or a lot of family support while you were locked up?
Nah, only my grandma, my uncle, and my brother.
For sure.
They'll come see me. My uncle, I love my uncle. Like, he did everything he could for me. And he sent me so much books.
That's nice.
That man saved my life in prison.
That's real, man.
All the books he sent me, and like I give him all the thanks for the success I have today. I might not tell him because I don't want him to get big headed,
Man.
but I give him the success for making me as educated as I am. Because he would send me so much books, and I knew he knew that it was an investment.
Bro.
Because let's say if he didn't send money, he sent them books.
Nah, that's real, man.
And he wasn't sending no Us magazines or no Jack magazines. No, he's sending books of knowledge and power. So I think that was life changing.
Absolutely. For sure. When you got out, 10 years, of course you had parole still when you got out. What is the first thing you did when you got out of prison?
The first thing I did, I went to Jack in the Box.
A real Houstonian.
I went to Jack in the
A real
Box.
Texan. That's what's up.
I went to Jack in the Box, but I stayed at the house. And I was like, okay. I tried to get a job. I got denied everywhere because got aggravated cases. And I knew how to cut hair. And I went to multiple barber colleges all over Houston. And every barber college told me no. They said I couldn't get a license because I'm a convicted felon. Some denied me because I got gang tattoos on me. And then one accepted me and told me give him $10,000 cash by next week.
That's like extortion.
And the truth is, I don't got no money, I don't got no car, I don't got shit. And by the grace of God, a good friend told me, he said, man, there's a school that will accept you and they're not going to charge you. It's called Northwest Educational Center. Go check them out. And I'm like, you for real? He's like, bro, pull out your phone. And he pushed me. So I pulled out my phone. He's all, email him right now. And I emailed him. And that same night, they messaged me. And I went that Monday. And that was the biggest life change and event of my life.
So you got into the barber game?
Yeah, I was actually like, I went to school and I was promoting myself as a barber. I already knew how to cut. And man, I took off running with it. And it was going back to school at the time around end of July, August, the beginning of August. And I made a video saying I'm giving out free haircuts for the community, for the kids, that I want to help them out. And Grizzy from the Hood News shared it.
Shout out.
She told me send her the video. And then she's like, look, remake the video. She coached me. She said, I want to see you win. She's like, you're just like me. I did 10 years. And I see that you're trying to do something good. And I want to give you a chance. And she gave me my chance. And I think it was a domino effect for everything else that came. Because that fucking video had fucking so much views. It broke the internet. Viral. And Grizzy, she's like one of the biggest influencers in Houston.
Yeah, not enough credit given to us.
Yeah. And it broke the internet, and I got a lot of backlash from it at first because I am a student. I'm on someone's establishment giving out free haircuts.
Yeah.
When most barbers colleges, they charge like $5, $10.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 200 motherfuckers coming in trying to get a free haircut.
Yeah, shit, man. People need it, though.
And I got a backlash, and you know what I told one of the instructors? Because they told me, like, nah, like, you can't do that. I told them I got an 820 credit score. Run my credit. I'll pay for everybody. And she looked at me. She said, wait, I guess you went told the owner or somebody. She looked at me. I guess she was shocked, like, that I really stood my ground and I bucked the system. She told me, wait, I guess you went and spoke with the owners. And they told her, like, nah, he's doing something good for the community. He's trying to help people. And he'll help the students get practice, cut all them kids' hair. And, like, I understand she's doing her job, right? Because it is her job. It is an establishment. And I did book. I posted a video saying I'm giving free haircut. So I went against the grain.
Yeah.
And we ended up cutting all them kids' hair.
That's what's up, man.
And believe it or not, like that moment right there brought me a lot of clientele as well. It brought me a lot of clientele in the barber game.
You still in the barber game?
No, I'm not.
You moved on.
I moved on. And that was like, that was a blessing itself. And from there, like, Grizzy posted me a lot. She goes live with me a lot. And she shows me a lot of love. But it was that created a lot. And from there, I posted on Facebook one day. I was like, man, I told everybody about the school because it saved my life. I got 348 people enrolled in one day.
Damn.
And the next week, I got 216. The first time I got all them people enrolled, the owner of the college came. And you know what he told me?
What's that?
He gave me $1,000. He gave me $1,000. And he told me, man, you got something a lot of people don't got. He's like, man, you got heart. You didn't do this for money. You didn't do it because it's a job. I don't even pay you to do this. I got people I pay for marketing. You did this because you actually care. He's like, here. That was the first 1,000 I got coming home. I was like, oh my God. And after I did that, I got 216. He came. He told me, he's all, I want you to work for me. And he mentored me. Steve Mades, he mentored me. Taught me everything I know with business, how to better articulate myself, how to wear suits. That's why I'm wearing a suit. And man, he taught me how to move off my failures and defeats. He taught me how to market, how to do foot marketing. He taught me how to get beat, get denied, and keep going. Because I'm a coordinator for Northwest Educational Center. And we did a Halloween event. He wrote down the whole thing for me, paperwork. I remember him sitting down writing it. He's like, you're going to go to all these businesses and ask for donations, candy donations. You're going to go in there with this paper, say you're a part of the college, and try to get us some candy. I got cussed out. I got called a devil worshiper. I got kicked out of establishments. But one thing I did get, I brought back a lot of fucking candy.
Yeah.
I got their logos, their emails to be a part of a great community event. And it was a blessing, but it molded me into who I am today. It taught me that some people will tell you no, some people will judge a book by its cover. But there's going to be genuine individuals. And I think Steve Mades, he's the man that molded me into who the success story I am today. Because don't get me wrong, I fuck up. I'm human like everybody else. I think he's the person that puts me back in my place, sit down, calm down.
Yeah.
There was one time I did a video trying to burn rubber in the school's parking lot. Take that video down, you're doing too much.
Nah, that's real. But yeah, man, definitely I see it now when I look at you online. Like I said earlier, the marketing. One thing I notice is big with you is the youth. You're into real estate now.
Nah, not real estate.
You're not into real estate?
It's not real estate. I do social media marketing. Illuminating Solutions is a LLC. So I help market different corporations, and I help them get the viewership and the attention that they need. Because I did blow up being a barber. When you hear real estate, that's just because of like properties that I own. But mainly I'm just like, honestly, some of them were just bad investments.
Nah, I feel you though. But I appreciate you correcting me though.
Yeah, I'm not into real estate. I'm actually I'm an influencer. I'm a host. I host like major events, major concerts, and even this Saturday I'm hosting the biggest boxing event on live TV for Texas Combat Sports and Media. And that's what I do. I get paid to talk.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be looking at you online, and you definitely got a huge following. You're growing every day, and you always come with that energy, but you always stay true to yourself, though.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, how long altogether have you been out?
I've been out like 3 years and 6 months now.
Yeah. Do you ever look back down the path that you've come and be like, damn, I've done so much in such a short time?
Man, one thing I can say is like, when I look back, some people be like, don't go backwards, right? One thing I can tell everybody that's watching this, sometimes going forward hurts a lot more than going backwards. Because you're going to lose friends, family, you're going to lose relationships, you're going to get a lot of hate for being authentic and being real with yourself, being true to who you are and your morals and your ethics when you're going forward and chasing your dreams. And that's one thing I can say.
Yeah, that's real. That was another question I was going to ask you too. After getting such a following and blowing up so much, I know you get the negativity.
I get a lot of hate. I get a lot of negativity. I get a lot of people that I thought were my friends that try to bring me down. I see a lot of people that try to knock me off my position, try to throw me off my pivot. And one thing I did realize, everybody talks about they gangster, right? Man, the real gangsters wear suits. The real gangsters are in the corporate world. In society, the strong rule the weak and the clever rule the strong. And I will tell you, man, it's hard to be in the free world. It's easy to be in jail. It's easy to pick up a gun, rob, steal, kill, sell dope, and do this shit. It's hard to do everything legitly because you have these individuals and they'll out-talk you, they'll out-think you, they'll outmaneuver you. Everything they say, do is a calculated step. It's like a chess piece. And only the strong, not the strong, only the clever survive. And in this industry, I deal with a lot of hate.
Yeah.
Because of my background, because I'm not as educated. I'm self-educated. And I have to overcome a lot of odds, a lot of obstacles. And the only thing they got against me is my past. They're gonna even probably use this podcast against me and say, you see, he's a member of Tango Blast. They're gonna be like this and that. But the truth is, I'm not a gang member. I'm a civilian. I just have tattoos because I look different and because I walk through trials and tribulations. I should be shamed. But I use it as a badge and a shield to show people that, hey, I am who I am, whoever you think I am. But I have the same morals and probably better morals than you. I am more educated than you. More educated than a lot of people perceive me to be because they doubt me because how I look. And you think that because you have a fancy degree in marketing or whatever fucking degree you got, that you should be able to outwork me. But let's turn up. Because life is a prize. I'm not in competition with anybody else. I'm in competition with who I was yesterday. And who I was yesterday, I wasn't shit. I wasn't shit. I was never meant to be shit. I was meant to fucking die in the streets. I'm the rose that grew from concrete. And guess what? Everybody else should have stayed in their own lane, worried about their jobs and what they got going on, but they're worried about me and trying to knock me off. And that's why they're going to fail, because I'm worried about my growth and my development so I could provide for my legacy and my family. So they could keep bringing obstacles, but I already been at the bottom. I already know adversity. I know struggle. The only thing they can do is try to kill me. But if they're not trying to kill me and they're trying to play a game of chess, not even the AI computer could beat me at chess. I'm 20 steps ahead.
That's what's up. That's one thing a real gangster knows, man.
Yes, check game.
Check game.
One thing a real gangster knows, man, we standing on fucking business in the green room. TV, y'all need to tap the fuck in.
Absolutely.
Illuminating Solutions.
Anthony Sanchez, man. I got one more question before we get out of here, man. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions for you? Who would you have to thank if you took your last breath today? What would you want to tell somebody that you care about right now if they're listening?
Man, somebody I care about if they're listening, I would let them know that I always paid attention, I always listened, and I always took the things that they wanted to like instill and impress upon me, and I took them true. Even if I might not have showed them, I carried those things like the people who actually left meaningful impacts on me, and I never stopped. You know what I'm saying? I never stopped. I always, if it were to stop right now, and they would have peeled back the layers on my life, they would see how much work and effort. Like, damn, this nigga was really putting that down like that.
Yeah.
But I appreciate them people, man, for sure. I said one more, but I got another one. This for the internet people, right? How do you feel about Hispanic people using the N-word?
Honestly, growing up in Houston, like, that's our culture, right? And it's just, remember I told you, it's all how you perceive things. Tupac really publicized the word and made it popular to use. The word means never ignorant getting goals accomplished. It's how you perceive it. If you look at it in a negative light, you're just a negative person the way you perceive it. But the way it was pushed by Tupac Shakur was something positive, something to empower the community. And I think that it's something that does unite the brown and black culture in Houston, Texas, or in Texas in general. And I think that people need to see why it was publicized and not the negativity why it was publicized. Like I said, Tupac Shakur said, never ignorant getting goals accomplished.
Yeah, a lot of people can relate to that.
So it's just all perception, right? Like, to each his own. I'm from Houston. You feel me? I'm from Houston.
You be using it?
I be using it. It's a habit. It's a habit, and I grew up with blacks.
Southeast.
I grew up with blacks. I'm from the South Side. I'm from Beverly Park. South Park's right across the railroad tracks. I went to school with them, and it's like, it's the culture in Houston. Like I said, the music culture has the biggest impact. It has the biggest impact. I grew up listening to Zero, Trey the Truth, all the screw tapes. Yeah. Like, this is what I wanted to listen to. And that's why I told you that, remember I was talking about the identity of the Mexican people? They don't have no identity. So they gravitate to the culture in Houston. And what's the culture? The culture is screw. So guess what? They're going to go to what they're hearing, what's around them. And in Houston, man, it's 84s, drinks, grills, man, it's just the culture. Some people ain't going to understand it, but if you're from the city, if you know, you know. And it's nothing to cause disrespect towards the African American community. I know people from the outside looking in, from like California, New York, and stuff like that, see it like, oh, why are they using that? But you have to live in Houston to understand our culture and the roots, because we have a deep and rich culture that's like no other. I done been everywhere. I done been to Detroit. I done been everywhere. And I could say our culture is very unique.
Absolutely.
But what's the foundation of the culture is DJ Screw.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There y'all have it, everybody. Anthony Sanchez, Illuminating Solutions.
Man,
in the Greenroom.
Tap in.